Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D! Well, actually, I'm just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. Uh, we're getting close to the end of this thing, and I kind of, you know, not much to talk about, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of them, and when I say Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean like the entire thing, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D. So I haven't seen Zeal, and I don't plan to, but, you know. I not really got into, but I saw Yu-Gi-Oh! I think like on Kids WB or something, I don't remember, or Fox or something, and, you know, it was just there, and it's like, okay, whatever. And that was that. It was one of those things where at the time, kind of like Pokemon or Sailor Moon or any show that was deemed uncool, or I don't know. And, you know, I kind of secretly liked it, though. I didn't really like it, you know, for its story. The duels were fun to watch, I'll say that much. In terms of favorite characters, I don't really think I have one. Duke Devlin's kind of cool, and Merrick's kind of cool, and Yusei's cool, and Jaden's cool, or Judai, or whatever. The new guy, I have nothing to say about him. He's probably on crack, or I don't know. But I would watch, you know, some of the stuff, and I would watch it, you know, a little bit. I wasn't too into, I wasn't too into, the show. This was back when Dragon Ball Z was still airing, and I think we were, like, in the middle of the Boost Saga, or near the beginning, or whatever. And so, you know, I would only watch it on certain days. I actually think I remember, I don't know. I mainly watched it during the summer, I think, or on Saturdays when I didn't have anything else to do. Not really my kind of thing, I guess. This is probably another bad video here about, you know, the whole anime thing, but I'm just not really into Yu-Gi-Oh! That much. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I played one of the games, and one of the games on GameCube where you, like, choose between Kaiba and Yugi, and it's like a turn-based sort of thing with Pokemon. It's like 3 a person. That was kind of cool. I only watched a friend play it. I didn't actually play it for myself, or I don't even think I tried, or whatever. But, you know, I watch it every now and then. Didn't really have many complaints to it. I mean, Duelist Kingdom, I don't even remember ever seeing the finale to that. It seemed like, you know, Maximilian Pegasus died or something. You know, same with Battle City. I don't remember seeing that either. And then the third thing, I don't even remember what that was. And oh yeah, it was that weird other tournament thing with that Leon kid and the guy with the pink hair. And then they got to the whole Bakura thing, which, I'll be honest, the whole idea of the antagonist being there from the very beginning, and the viewer knows that something's going to happen, and then finally near the end, like, I find that kind of interesting. Plus, it kind of ties the knots up. And, you know, it was kind of interesting to have a villain from the very beginning. It was almost as if, like, I don't know, I can't think of a comparison. Like, I don't know, maybe if Barbados in Tales of Destiny 2 was, like, with the gang, and he was like, oh, no, you know, Dynasty Wars in a way, because of the whole Suma-Yi thing, but that's a different subject. You know, I guess it's okay. I mean, the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX I probably enjoyed a little bit more. I kind of got a Tales of Eternia vibe from it. I'm not sure why. I don't know. It was just interesting. It was just an interesting thing to watch, I guess. I don't really know what else I can say. I didn't watch too much of it. I remember one episode where Jaden's like, oh yeah, he's going to become raw yellow. Instead of being Cypher Red. And then it's like, no, I decided to be Cypher Red instead. And then I think actually his little blue-haired guy friend thing, who's like kind of reminds me of Yugi. He became the raw yellow. And I remember the rival who was sort of like the Kaiba. He kind of left the school then came back, but he wasn't even a student. And then I remember, like, I didn't watch much of it. I do remember hearing about how, like, Jaden got possessed or something. Then, like, afterwards, his personality kind of changed. He became more serious or something. I don't remember too much of that. I do remember watching the or a little bit of the final fight, the final duel with Yugi, which was kind of cool. You know, I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX was more or less a sequel. I mean, obviously now Yu-Gi-Oh! Is more or less a franchise. Not necessarily for the TV show, but more for the card games, in my opinion. I think at this point, the anime is just kind of like, Pokemon is to the game. Although I think the anime for Pokemon came out first, I'm not sure. Anyway, then 5Ds came out. That one I actually liked a little bit more, mainly the music, that theme song. I don't remember what it's called. It's called, like, Driving or something. That theme song that everyone likes. Oh, Hyperdrive. Why haven't they done a full version of that song? I really want to know. They did, like, a bunch of other songs and whatnot. A bunch of good ones, too. Sorry. Throat's a little messed up. Watched, that show. It was okay. And, I heard how Yusei gets, amnesia and Jack Atlas becomes his friend or something. He's more or less the Kaiba, except in the sense of that he's the rival, kind of like how What's-His-Face is, the Kaiba of GX, mainly because he's the rival of Jaden. And, since Kaiba is, was the rival of Yugi. I don't really know what else I can say about that one. According to Jet and my buddy Jet, and if you've seen the podcast that I'm in, you've probably heard already, but Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds has ended, probably because, Zeal's coming out pretty soon. I don't know how it ends. I'm assuming it has to do with, like, dragons. I mean, I'm pretty sure that 5Ds actually has a meaning to it, even though I think the creators deny it. And what you can't really have a conversation about Yu-Gi-Oh! Without mentioning Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. I used to be into it, but now I don't know, it's just not, I just don't like it that much anymore. Kind of lost its charm over the years, and it's generally just not as funny. I'm not a real big fan of references, because I feel like, while they can be funny if you know the reference, it's sort of a quick, sort of easy way to make someone laugh. And I feel like true humor is when you make someone laugh with either a funny situation or, like, I don't know, something other than a reference, because, abridged series at this point are like just references. And, it's, I mean, it's okay, and it's fun to watch, and I look at it as being, a part of, internet phenomenon, and I'll probably tell my children about this. Of course, I'll probably talk more about Red versus Blue and, Sonic for Hire of all things, but, Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, it was an interesting thing. It was a nice thing, Not really my kind of thing anymore. Little Karibo's a good voice actor. I think I know how he's like an actual stage actor, so he's probably eventually going to start voice acting in anime at some point with all these contacts he's getting with, like, Johnny Young Bosch, Kyle Hebert, and Vic Mignogna. Yeah, he's a lucky bastard. But, that's all I can say about Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. Really, Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. Oh yeah, the dub. I have stated before that I don't have anything against 4Kids whatsoever, because I'm not real picky about animes, what's the word? Editing out stuff to make it cleaner for television. I mean, would you rather it be like your 5 o'clock thing after school, or would you rather it, like, start showing at, like, 10 or 11 o'clock at night with all its, whatever? Is that even, like, I don't know. I don't really see a point for that, honestly. Personally, what I'm trying to say is I don't care if an anime gets censored, because, if I'm going to watch an English dub, I'm watching, an English dub. If I want to watch, the full uncut Japanese version, I'll just watch it subtitled on the DVD. Which is normally what they do, I think. Or I'm not sure, but 4Kids did, although they did do, like, their main dub was, like, just pretty edited. They did do an uncut version, which I found to be pretty interesting. They did do an uncut DVD or something. I don't know whatever happened to that, but it happened. It definitely happened. I don't think I ever bought it because, again, I wasn't really into Yu-Gi-Oh! That much. And I've only seen... In terms of Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh!, I know very little about it. I know that the voice actor for Jaden is like a singer named Ken, who I believe is good friends with Mamoru Miyano. And sheesh, I don't know. Kind of lost my train of thought. I was talking about, oh yeah. In terms of that, I don't know much about, the voice cast. I know, I'm aware of the Japanese names. Like, I know that Joey's Jonichi, or Joe Nuichi, I think, which makes sense. Teo is Anzu, which makes sense. Friggin' Tristan was Honda, which is pretty funny. Kaiba was Kaiba. And, for all you people out there, bitching about the name changes, who cares? I mean, yeah, I can understand with Anzu and Taya and with Tristan and Honda, but Joey makes sense coming from Joe Nuichi. I mean, Joe Nuichi, Joey, Joe. It makes sense, doesn't it? Kind of like what they did with Misty, how her name was like Matsumi or something, or Kasumi, and they changed, and that meant Miss, so they named her Misty. And I think they did the same thing with the May for Pokemon. I don't really care that much about Pokemon anyway. Yeah, that's, oh yeah, the dub. But going back to the 4Kids thing, I'm kind of jumping all over the place because I keep losing my train of thought and whatnot. But I didn't mind the 4Kids dub. Because I didn't know anything else, and I'm pretty sure that most of the voice actors in the Japanese version are like unnoticed anyway, which is saying something because contrast to this kind of thing with video games and whatnot on Japanese websites and Japanese video game and anime magazines. One of the things they always lists is the voice actor under their name and a picture. They always list the voice actors. That's how people who that's how places like Abyssal Chronicles know who the voice actors are almost immediately because they're listed. But anyway, I think Hikaru Midorikawa did Kaiba for Season 0, but no one cares about that. That's, from what I understand, the closest to the original manga. But they gave Yugi a girl voice for his regular form and then a woman voice for Yami, which I felt was kind of odd. But yeah. Overall, I like the dub. I understand now that 4Kids lost the rights to Yu-Gi-Oh!, which in a way I'm glad because some other people might pick it up. Maybe Funimation or Viz probably will. And they seem to kind of go sort of both ways. They're doing what Funimation are doing with Kai, where edited for TV, uncut for the home release. Which, makes sense, and plus they've got Naruto and other stuff under their belt, and they've got access to both American and Canadian voice casts, so, if they want to, we could have Brad Swale as somebody and Dan Green as somebody, I don't know. But if this does get it, I do hope they at least get the original voice actors, just, what they probably should do for consistency's sake is probably keep the names, but just, change up the script a little bit and whatnot. The names at this point are so engraved in, the American fan base, but, So, yeah, that's all I have to say. If you like Yu-Gi-Oh!, you should watch it. I recommend it in both English and Japanese, I guess. So that's it, but I do have one more thing to say. One good thing that came from Yu-Gi-Oh! 3 words. 1 card short. That's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to fucking say!